Alright, so before this video begins, I do want to give a shout out to a YouTuber. He was by the name of chicotwins. He hit me up and said that he wanted a shout out, so I decided to give him a shout out on this video. Make sure you guys check out his channel down below in the description. What up everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. It's MasterAquatics. Gonna serve you a nice hot serving of hot, steamy, shitty aquariums, and let's just get right into it. Alright, so the first one that we have here that I'm gonna click on is called, well, number 2. Yeah, it's a mighty big pleco there, but this is only the side view, so I can't really tell how big this aquarium is unless I look at it from the front, but that's not gonna happen because we only have one picture. So what I'm gonna say, judging from just this photo on its own, is that it does look like that pleco is a little too big for that aquarium. I can't say anything else other than that, which is the most obvious thing in this photo, but let's go ahead and dive down into the comments. River M575 says, fish only grow to the size of the tank they're in. He'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine if you want him to be stunted in a local nail salon. There's more fish behind the mist. That is one misty ass aquarium, I'm not even gonna lie, but all we know is that the owner of this salon could have just done a water change for this aquarium, and that's probably why it's cloudy. Or maybe the owner put in some medications into that aquarium which caused it to be cloudy. Cloudy water doesn't always mean that the water is dirty. It could mean that it's had a water change. There's a lot of reasons why water can get clouded, and it's not always bad. So I'm not gonna say that this is a shitty aquarium, but I will say this: they do take Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, so if you got those, you're good to go. If you want to get your eyebrows waxed, maybe your nails, you want to get your nails did. Battle Corral says, when people post businesses, I get pissed because I would just leave and not give my business to animal abusers. You know, I wish I was like that, you know, as much as I don't like seeing fish being abused and not taken care of. But hey, I mean, if I'm going into a business and I've been going there for a long time and, you know, their service is great and their prices are on point, you know, I'm sorry, but call me an a-hole. I'm not gonna leave and ditch that business and go somewhere else because they're not properly taking care of their animals. But I will give them some advice if I can. If I'm knowledgeable in the pet that they're keeping, I will try to help them out and maybe give them some advice, or I'll probably tell them like, hey, you should look into this and see if you can find a solution to this because it doesn't look good. Even the snails are trying to get out. Help me! New tank. I honestly tried so hard to convince my friend to not get a goldfish. I can't judge this photo with it being the way it is. Maybe next time you upload a photo to Reddit, maybe you can do us a favor and upload it correctly. This is making my neck hurt just turning it sideways, but it doesn't seem to be a bad aquarium. It's just that the water level is kind of low. That's about it. Building a 0.5 liter tank out of GoPro packaging, complete with 8 large guppy fry and 7 shrimps. Yikes! Holy crap, that's a small aquarium. Is that seriously how big it is? This is actually pretty impressive to me. I don't know why this is labeled as a shitty aquarium. Some aquariums on this subreddit just do not belong here. They should make a subreddit called Amazing Aquariums, and they should have some of these aquariums on that subreddit. But some people just like to post aquariums on the shitty subreddit just so they get attention, or just because they hate life. I don't know. But if this was my tank, I would be proud of it. That looks like real plants. There's a filtration system in there. This could easily pass as one of the smallest aquariums that's fully functional with lots of life. Whoever made this aquarium should definitely post a YouTube video about it. Pretty sure a lot of people would love to see this and see how it was constructed and how it was made. I personally would like to see it. This is definitely not a shitty aquarium. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below and tell me if you guys think this belongs in the shitty subreddit aquariums. Waiting time on the Facebook store. AD saw this poor guy in this tiny home. If he wasn't 3 hours away, I would go save him. Yeah, it's a really big discus in a very small aquarium. I'm not sure if that's another fish in there or not, but I'm gonna hope that this is like some sort of holding tank or something. This has to be like a holding tank. Hopefully it's not permanent. I don't know, because there's a breeding cone in there and it looks like the person is breeding them in that small aquarium. I don't know why they would do that, because most people that get discus and they are already breeding them, most of them already have the common sense to not put discus in small aquariums with even the slightest amount of crappy water in their tanks, because everybody knows that's been keeping fish for a while that discus are very sensitive to bad water parameters. So I'm kind of 50-50 with this. I'm gonna have to label this as a shitty aquarium because I would not put a discus pair in a small tank like that. Maybe if they were a little bit smaller with extra filtration in there, but not that size discus in that size aquarium. This is definitely a shitty aquarium in my opinion. Alright guys, so before I continue any further into the video, I just want to say, if you're bored of this video, check out this video right here. In the clip that you're looking at right now, my giant prawn shrimp eats 3 shiners at the same time, and these are some pretty decent sized fish that he's eating. He has one in his mouth, one in his right pincher, and one in his left pincher. If you did miss this video, I highly recommend that you check it out. You can check it out by clicking on the card on the top right hand corner, and he almost gets a 4th one. So it's a really cool video. Make sure you guys check it out. Alright, let's continue with the original video. Just WTF, the greenest water I've seen in a while. Yeah, that water is pretty green, my friend. You could put that water in a Gatorade bottle and it'll pass for green Gatorade. But what is this stuff on the floor? That's what I'm curious about. That doesn't look too good. Whatever that is, it's stained in there pretty bad. Masterful video juegos. This whole image taken from Facebook. Somebody was saying their 3-year-old threw the food around like confetti. Yeah, so that's what that is. What kind of food is that though? Take out the goldfish and add Daphnia. Daphnia does love algae though. Little brother and I rescued this guy today. Can't wait to see how he colors up. Jeez. Okay, I'm hoping you rescued him from that and you didn't actually rescue a beta and put him in that. It's hard to tell. Okay, so judging from the comments, I think you actually just posted a picture of what you rescued the beta from, but it would have been nice if you actually showed us a picture of what you put him in or whatever, or maybe you just didn't have time to set up the tank before you gave us an update photo. But if you actually did rescue this beta and put him in a good home, props to you for doing that. I'm pretty sure that beta is gonna love you and is gonna thank you for the rest of its life, and you did a good thing. Good job. Pufferfish, fancy goldfish, and a beta kept in one small plastic critter keeper. Anytime you mix green spotted pufferfish with any other type of species of fish, you're asking for trouble, especially when you're putting them in with fish that are not brackish, because green spotted pufferfish, they do require a little bit of aquarium salt into their water. It looks like in this picture we have a black moray goldfish, and then we have another type of fish here that I'm not too sure of what it is. But yeah, this is definitely not a good aquarium setup with the combination of fish that's in there. So I'm definitely gonna label this one as a shitty aquarium. 3 years ago, what's the betting that they're all dead now? I bet you $100. Diggler says needs a pleco. Yeah, let's just add like a 2 feet pleco in here. There we go. Amino, why? The worst I've ever seen. After rescue, his ammonia burns were so bad, his scales fell off. Aw, poor beta. I'm glad you rescued that beta. Betas deserve all of the love. All of the love. If only I had a tank big enough to rescue. Poor goldfish. I mean, if he's by himself in there, he'll be alright, but in the long run, he's gonna need a bigger tank. Somebody found this in China. There's an actual live goldfish in this. Why are people like this? So is that real? I know that fish is real, but there's no way that's real. And then what's that? Okay, well that looks like a type of platy. That's definitely not a goldfish. Welp. Yo, alright, so these fish are absolutely beautiful, but I gotta say, this is actually a tank that I do consider overstocked. I wouldn't even say it's not overstocked even if there was additional filtration in there. That's just, there's barely enough swimming space for all of these fish, and these fish, they're gonna continue to grow. They don't stop growing. They get as big as they can. So you putting all these fish in here, eventually they're either gonna be stunted and die or not live a healthy and happy life. So I'm gonna have to consider this one a shitty aquarium. Add a few great whites and call it good. For real, man, they'd really add to the masterpiece. Because big fish make me look like a man and gets all the chicks. I honestly think that's their mindset. Tough guys have savages and giant fish. Terrible pond inspired tank craft from YouTube uses hot glue to make decor, adds 3 goldfish. There are so many things wrong with this. It's despicable. Poop and fish. Yeah, poop and fish. Fish swimming in its own poop. Yeah, so Oscars are definitely one of the most abused fish in the hobby. That and goldfish. 10-gallon and 20-gallon aquariums are definitely a big part of abusing Oscars and goldfish. But most of the time, Oscars can do okay when they're smaller in these tanks, but eventually they get way too big, but that takes years, and most people have the heart and the common sense to eventually rehome them. So I have a feeling this Oscar will be alright, but yeah, I mean, to be at a 100% comfort level, the Oscar should definitely get a bigger tank and maybe some better water quality, that's for sure. or blue acara. Tank is definitely overpopulated. Yeah, I would say the tank looks good, water looks good, setup looks good. Only thing that's bad is the tank size. I would get just a tank that's a little bit bigger for those fish. Green terrors, but that's besides the point. Tanks with these kinds of dimensions are no good for anyone. It's sad. My friend's 2-gallon aquarium with 15 guppies and like 5 neon tetras. Is it overstocked? Let's take a look. This is a beautiful tank. This is another good example of a aquarium that shouldn't belong on this subreddit. I think this aquarium is absolutely fine. It doesn't belong on this subreddit. Is it a little overstocked? I don't think so. Not with the size of these fish. These fish, they stay relatively small and it doesn't take much to feed them. So you can get away with a small pinch of flakes or a very small amount of food and they will be good for a few days. Meaning that overfeeding is not a big possibility because these fish, they don't eat a lot anyways. Plus there's some plants in there that helps oxygenate the water and just lower the ammonia and nitrites down. Plus you got 2 plants in there that helps with the water quality. Plants definitely help with that. So I think this is a very good aquarium. In my eyes, there's nothing wrong with this aquarium. Since the guppies are light bearers, you might want to keep in mind that they might make a lot of fry in the future. So you might have to cull or you might have to give away some of the guppies in the future. Otherwise they will overpopulate because they do breed a lot. So just keep that in mind. Fish tank at my sister boyfriend's apartment. Yo, that's a fish tank? I thought that was like some sort of cheap microwave or something. This is a fish tank? I thought it was like a kitchen item or something. This is terrible. I don't think there's anything in there but this light indication. I don't think there's anything in there. Hopefully this tank is just not running anymore and that's why the water's like that, because the owner got kind of lazy and just didn't want to mess with it anymore. But there's also some fish food on top, so he's probably feeding something. I don't know what's going on with this tank, but just based off of this picture alone, what I'm gonna say is that this is one of the shittiest aquariums I've seen on Reddit in a while. So this one will definitely be considered a shitty aquarium for me. That is one dirty aquarium, and if you don't plan on keeping up with the maintenance for your aquarium, just rehome it, get rid of it, do what you gotta do. Just don't leave it lying around in your house, so that way it's not an eyesore for everybody that comes in and sees it. 2 large Oscars and 1 million plants found at a bar. Alright, so the picture is kind of blurry, so I can't really determine how bad or how good the water quality is. All I can say is that there's a lot of plants in there, which they look like they are thriving. If the plants are thriving, then the fish are more than likely doing good.